Welcome back here on the Osium channel. Today I would like to talk about the famous first 100 days. Because as an HR leader, of course, we recruit people and they come and ask me for advice. And I have discovered that there are actually very different schools of thought. There is one school of thought that you will find in the literature or from consultants and coaches who would say any action that has not been taken during this first period will become more difficult to actually undertake and to decide. Any bold decisions, any bold actions should be announced at the very beginning. Now, interestingly, there is another school of thought, and this other school of thought is saying exactly the contrary. It is saying, step back, don't take action, focus as much as you can on listening, interact with as many people as you can, let them share their perspectives, do not judge, do not rush into action, absorb and learn, because any information that you have not taken in from the people in the organization during these first 100 days will probably be much harder to collect later, because then you are indeed in the action mode and people will maybe find it also more difficult to share certain pieces of information with you. Now, who is right? The action-oriented school or the listening-oriented school? Well, I guess it depends, and it depends probably on two things. It depends first of all on you, and secondly it depends on the specific situation that you will move into when you take a new responsibility. Let's look at those two aspects. First of all, it depends on you because probably it is a question that is also related to your personality. As a matter of fact, the very first decision that you will make in a new job is to choose what approach to take. And that will send a strong signal to the organization about who you are. Because as you know, of course, there is never a second chance to make a good first impression. And this first signal will be particularly impactful, especially if you make it clear that you have a roadmap and that you actively communicate about the approach that you have chosen. Now, it also depends on the situation. Let's face it, if you move into an organization where there is a crisis which you have been recruited to fix, then it is very likely that you will not have the possibility to listen for 100 days, because it will actually be expected that you move much faster into troubleshooting. The only option that may then exist is to still preserve a certain time for the listening mode, which could, for example, be only 50 days or even less. The other factor is the question, of course, if your predecessor is still available for the handover period. If that is the case, and if you can have an agreement with that person that he or that she would keep the operational running of the business, allowing you to be more in this observation position, where that is something that is possible and making sense for the organization, it may be a very privileged way to actually move into a new responsibility. So you see here again, it depends on the situation. And last but not least, it depends also on the time you had to prepare. Because the more time you had to prepare before the start of the 100 days, the more likely it is that you can move into the action mode relatively quickly. So we see that there are many factors to take in, but the point I would simply like to make is don't take it lightheartedly. Think about it, think about what is your preference, think about what is the situation, and make a conscious decision about your first 100 days. Make sure that you communicate about that decision to the organization and to your teams, because that will already be a strong first signal that you will give them about yourself. I hope this helps, and I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If it is the case, please don't forget to like, comment or share, and to subscribe to the channel for more. See you soon.